Okay, real briefly in this video, we're going to look at a sample problem involving a strict sequencing game. And you can pause the video, but what I did was I set out the sketch and I wrote down the rules here for this particular game. We have 7 houses that need to be arranged on the street from west to east, and here were the 4 rules. Okay, then for this particular question, it's stated if, so there's a hypothetical, which means I made a new sketch. I obviously did not fill in what the rules would be for the master sketch. You could try that on your own. But for this one, if the M's live west of the K's, then where the R's cannot, key phrase there, where could they not go? All right, so from rule number 2, we know that the K's have to be on space 4. And rule number 3 says M needs to be next to the K's, but that, of course, could be either on space 3 or on space 5. But in this case, since it says if we do a scenario where the M's are live west of the K's, west being in the leftwards direction, that means I could put M right here. Okay? Now, they want to know where could R not go. Well, the first thing we know is that R can't go here and R cannot go there. That's from rule number 1. All right. So we either have an option of R is on space 2, that might be possible, or it's somewhere in here on spaces 5 and 6. Only 3 different options. Let's look at this too. Most restrictive rule we have, or the one that encompasses the most things, is rule 4, that wherever we place M and K, that means we have to put P and L after M and K. So let's just look at this for a minute. I would suggest let's go down the line. Let's see, is it possible that R could be next to K and P? Well, let's think about how that would work. If that was so, could we do this without breaking any rules? Now, actually, before I even jump into this, notice from our list, remember we have a list of all the things that we're dealing with. It's the K's, the L's, the M's, the N's, the O's, the P's, and the R's. Okay, so all these. We've placed in our scenario M and K. Those are taken care of. But notice something here. N and O, there are no rules that deal with them. So those are what we call floaters. Those could literally go absolutely anywhere and not break any rules. The only ones that have restrictions are P, R, and L. And all we know is that P and L have to be somewhere in here. So I'll put that, oops. P and L have to be somewhere in this space here, right? According to rule 4. And then for R, we know that it can't be here or there, but N and O can go anywhere. That's going to become important in just a moment. All right, so let's just try, is it possible that we can do this? Can we place R next to K and P? Well, the only way that would work would be if I put R right here and then P right there. Can we do that? Sure. Right? Look what I did in the orange there. R next to K and to P. That's fine. It doesn't break rule 1, which just stated R can't be on 1 or 7. That's fine. And then it doesn't break rule 4, which says P has to come after M and K, but also before L. That's fine. So A is out. Does not violate any rules. So it's not true that R could not go there. Okay? Actually, let's try another example. All right, so that's out. A is out. Let's try B. Is it true that we could put R in between L and P? Well, let's think about this. The same reasoning. We know L and P have to be in here. Can we put R in between them? Let's just do an example. Let's say I put L. Let's say I put L. Actually, here, let me back up for a second. We know the restriction is that L has to come after P, but supposing I put P here and L here and R there. R is in between P and L. We didn't break any rules. We're good. That one's out as well. Okay, let's cross that guy off. Let's try C. Is it possible to put R in between M and P? Well, think about it like this. M is already placed. If K has to go on 4, then M has to be right here, according to rule 3. Well, in this scenario, right? If M lives west of the K. So M has to go there. So if I'm going to put R next to M, R is going to have to go here. So in order for R to be in between M and P, I'd have to place P here. Can I do that? No. Rule 4, P has to be to the right of the MK group. P's got to go somewhere in here. This is the one that is impossible. This is the one that breaks our rules. Okay, I'm going to pause there. You can try answer choices D and E and just verify for yourself that that is going to be a problem. But in this scenario here. Whenever you're looking for what cannot be true, test to see. These are relatively, I'd probably say, just somewhat on the faster end of questions to solve, because you don't have to test out every single scenario. If you can just come up with one possible way in which you can place things in a certain sequence and it doesn't break any rules, that means it's not the right answer, right? Because the correct answer would be something that must be false. The wrong answers would be things that could be true or must be true. Hopefully that was helpful.